It's week 3 of my playthrough of the Shamutanti Hills by Steve Jackson. If you want to catch up, I've put a link in the description below to a playlist of the whole adventure. Or you can just jump in right now. At the end of the last instalment, I was captured by a village of Sphinx. And I'm probably about to die, so this could be a very short episode. Let's find out as we return to the Shamutanti Hills. Okay, so I've been captured by the Sphinx, which sounds painful. You are thrown into the hut and the door is locked. You are their prisoner. You spend half an hour looking for a possible escape, but there does not appear to be one. If you wish, you may sit down and eat provisions. Can't remember if I've eaten today or not. No, I think I'm good. Then you may either settle down to sleep, or keep awake and on guard in case anything should happen. Well, I'm a prisoner, so what more can happen? I better get some sleep. You may add 2 stamina points for your rest, but if you did not eat at all yesterday, you must deduct 3 stamina points. You wake early the next morning. Okay, so I'm adding 2 stamina points for rest, but then I have to deduct 3 because I've still got the plague. And down to 23, which is still 1 point more than when I started. An hour after daybreak, you hear noises outside. The door opens and 5 Sphinx come in, followed by a man with grey hair and colourful robes. He announces himself as Proteus, the Sphinx chief, and apologises for having captured you. Oh yeah, thanks for that. Makes all the difference. He nods to a menial who brings you bread and milk. You may eat this meal and add 2 stamina points. Oh, that's handy. 25, not bad. The chief explains that you have a mission of the utmost importance ahead of you. His young daughter, his only heir, has been captured by marauders and has been offered as a sacrifice to a powerful cave demon. Well, sucks to be her. Several of his own men have tried to rescue this girl, but so far with no success. We are a desperate people, explains the chief. You must be our champion and rescue our heir. If you succeed, you may choose your own reward. Oh, well, I like the sound of that. It is clear that in spite of the chief's apparent good nature, you have little choice in this matter. You are taken out of the village and along a meandering path up another hill. On the top of the hill is a hole in the ground, and the Sphinx prepares a basket to lower you down into what must be a secret entrance to the demon's cave. Oh. Will you try a last attempt at escaping? Or are you thinking only of the rich treasures you may win? I'm thinking only of the treasures, actually. 10 to 100. You are lowered down through the darkness until eventually you reach the ground below. If you still have Ian the Minimite with you, 10 to 286. No, got rid of him. Otherwise 10 to 197. You peer around in the blackness. The Sphinx throw you down a torch. The tinderbox light your way. Lighting up the torch, you can see you're in a large cavern. 2 passageways lead onwards. Will you take the one on the right or the left? The one on the right. Following the passage down for some distance, you reach a T-junction where you may turn left or right. This is what... I don't know, left? You walk down the passage for several minutes. You slip on the dirt and below your feet the ground gives way. You plunge into a hidden pit and land on something soft. Your hand reaches out and touches something which slithers between your fingers. A snake pit. You are sitting on a mound of the deadly reptiles. And there they are, all the snakes that I'm sitting on. Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes? Will you use your magic to help you? Or look for another means of escape? If you have not used your Call to Libra, you had better do so now. Well, yeah, I haven't used my Call to Libra. You get to summon the god Libra once in each book, so I might as well do it now. Before your eyes, the snakes form a living ladder, going back up to the passage above. When it is formed, you may climb back up and return to the main chamber. We may take either the right hand or the left hand passage. I'd better go the left hand this time. The path slopes downhill and you soon reach a fork where you may either go right or left. Left? I should be making a map, really. Somewhere down the corridor you hear whispering, and your torch lights up a frail shape. Hiding in the shadows is the young Sphin girl. You take her up and comfort her, and she clings to you for safety. Now all you have to do is escape. Oh, this is alright. Behind you, Aurora puts you on your guard. The walls of the corridor begin to shake and crumble. You are forced to venture further to avoid the collapse which is sealing off your exit. Ahead of you now, a narrow shaft of light gives you a cause for hope. Perhaps this is another exit. The roaring sound gets louder as you step through the corridor into a large cavern. Suddenly you gasp as you back against the wall, shielding the child from the sight you have seen. Standing before you on four legs is a huge manticore, a hybrid creature with a lion's body and scorpion's tail. Its face is that of an old man, and as it sees you, it rears back, flapping two great wings. Will you fight the creature or cast a spell? Again, it's a really bad drawing. It doesn't look anything like the face of an old man. But I'm guessing it's going to be really fierce. And it's probably got more skill than I have. So I better try a spell. But which one shall I try? Well, DOZ sounds like doors. So that should put it to sleep. I'll go with that. Deduct 2 stamina points. Not a great start. The creature makes a half turn and prepares to swing its stinging tail at you. But as you cast the spell, it pauses briefly and shakes its head, as if something has hit it. Its movement becomes slow, and you may now either seize your chance to attack it with your weapon, or cast an attacking spell. I'll try the spell. Right, you've got Yob, Kin, Hot, Gob, or Kill. Now, Gob you need a Goblin's Tooth for. Hot sounds like a fireball. Yeah, I'll try Hot. Deduct 4 stamina points, that's not good. But I think I'd have lost more if I'd had to fight the thing. Your spell makes a large fireball in your hand, which you fling at the beast. It hits the manticore in the side and the creature roars out in pain. You may turn to 420 to finish it off. Okay, you've got Zip, Knit, Fif, Wal and Suj. I do remember that Wal casts a wall, so that might be useful. Deduct 4 stamina points. Oh, this is not going well. The manticore is in the opposite passage, preparing to pounce at you. You cast your spell as it leaps, and it roars loudly as it hits your invisible wall in mid-flight. Using your control, you fence it in securely, allowing you to grab the Sphin girl and run for the cave. Yes! You leave the manticore's chamber and follow the path to the source of the light. As you had hoped, a cave entrance allows you out onto the side of the hill. You and the Sphin girl find your way back to Torapani. The Sphin chief is overjoyed to have his daughter back, and the village erupts into celebration as their curse is now lifted. You are given the freedom of the village and decide to stay for the day to recuperate. You visit the Sphin healing priest, who will treat your wounds, cure your diseases, and lift any curses you may have. Yes! I've got rid of the plague! No plague! Hooray! Restore your skill, stamina and luck points to their initial values. The priest will also rid you of the annoying little Minimite if he is still with you. So stamina is back to 22. And luck is already more than its original value, so don't have to restore it, after all. You sleep heavily this night and rise the next morning to continue on your way. Before you go, the Sphin chief meets you. He hands you 2 gifts. A pouch containing 10 gold pieces and a large key. I know you travel to Carré, says the chief, but the city is evil and you must be on your guard. 2 years ago, a traveller passed through here from Carré and gave me this key, saying he would never return. This is a key to the city gates, and with it you will be able to enter the city unnoticed. Once you get to Carré's south gate in the next adventure, Carré's City Port of Traps, available now from all good bookshops, you may turn to 12 if you wish to use this key. Yeah, so in other words, I pretty much have to carry on to the next book. I was going to do that anyway, but now I have 2 bonuses to make it a bit easier. So I will definitely do that at some point later in the year. Anyway, this book isn't over yet. You thank him and leave Torapani. You have made friends here and may permanently increase your initial luck score by 1 point. Soon the path is leading you on from the Shamutanti Hills, down across rice fields, towards the Great Wall City, the city port of Korea, on to the next stage of your quest. Well, that was it. So yeah, final thoughts. It's been very enjoyable. There's none of the instant death scenes that you get from some fighting fantasy books, where you just have to start all over again. I was expecting to do that several times, but somehow I've made it through to the end in one piece. But I guess this is only the first volume of 4, so presumably the difficulty goes up with each subsequent volume. The ending was pretty unexpected. I thought the whole being captured by a sphinx thing was just a detour on the way, but it turns out to have been the end game, and presumably you end up there whatever choice you make along the way. But I like that. It was unexpected. I wasn't expecting to be surprised with a 40-year-old book. I'm still not sure about the spell system. It seems to be very much a matter of luck rather than anything else. But it worked out well for me this time, so I'm not complaining. So yes, I will be looking forward to continuing on to Korea at some point later in the year. Well, that was the last instalment for the time being. Next week, something completely different. So subscribe if you don't want to miss out, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye.